Are there cases where leaving the binding mode question unresolved? Is this an acceptable risk, or does ambiguity always compound downstream? Yeah. Well, you did hear me say today, if it's a very low alpha beta NAM, who cares if it's orthosteric or allosteric? It's binding, it's inhibiting response. I would really be uncomfortable not knowing how my molecule bound and is acting. But sometimes when you've exhausted all the conventional ways to unveil that, it could be screaming at you that, well, who cares? However it's binding, it's doing the same thing that you want. And so there could be cases of, I've tried everything I can, and I cannot really determine whether it's orthosteric or it's allosteric, but what I do know, it's a darn good functional antagonist. So let's take it in animals and see how that plays out. Which is not an adequate answer, because I don't. And as for expecting ambiguity, well, remember that previous question where we said PAM for an opioid in the brain. If you start to see inordinately variable effects, then that might be telling you something isn't right here. It might be an allosteric, and the system is starting to impose system effects on that. Okay, let's see. I can.
We have Dominic. Please feel free.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I joined a little late. I've kind of been dropping in and out, but thank you for your time. I'm curious. If you have a receptor that's prone to internalize signaling,
yes,
does that affect our ability to analyze or to analyze Schild data or any other binding mode data?
Yeah. Oh wow. Yes. I'm going to cite some experience I had with MC4. So this is a textbook school of receptor behaviors. This thing, it does everything, and one of the things it does, it's involved in energy homeostasis. So it's a good drug target. Agonism, you're hoping it's going to promote lean body type and so forth. It has a natural antagonist in the system, AGRP. So perhaps this is how physiology controls signaling. It has an agonist in alpha, MSH, beta, MSH, and so forth, but also a cell surface antagonist in AGRP. There are agonists of this receptor like melanotan-2 that produce cyclic AMP effects. Well, step back. Alpha MSH, you can get a readout in real time of cyclic AMP. You add it, you get a response which is persistent. You can wash and you'll lose response, or you can add AGRP and you'll rapidly inhibit it, because it's all cell surface. Melanotan-2, you do this, you get your steady state, you add AGRP, you wash, nothing, because the stuff internalizes and then signals from within. Now, you may want that or you may not, but here's a way you induce a steady state response and then see if exogenous antagonist will. There's other ways. There's I wish I could remember his name. There's elegant studies on vasopressin internalization, where you can add inhibitors of receptor internalization. I think it's a GTPase inhibitor of dynamin, and it's called Dinosaur. So you add your agonist and you get this persistent agonism. If you pre-treat with Dinosaur, you don't. You see an agonism that then you can wash off. So that again is presumptive evidence. But certainly if you're trying to do Schild plots and fitting your allosteric models, that's going to create havoc, because your signaling is now not homogeneous at one site. And so first things first is to try to identify if this is happening. And certain systems do it more than others. PTH is known for it. This is an issue. MC4 can do it. I don't know. Vasopressin can do it, and I'm sure many others. So, good question. If you're having weird Schild effects or trying to fit curves to a model and they don't fit, maybe check it out. Yeah. Good question. Thank you, Dominic.